Conference will now be recorded.
Sixth meeting of the South Whitehall Township Board of Commissioners. I'd like to note for the record that all 5 commissioners are present in person this evening. If you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To note that all public sessions of the South Whitehall Township Board of Commissioners are electronically recorded, filed, and posted on the township website for public access. I'd like to ask our township manager, Tom Petrucci, to now review our public virtual meeting rules.
Thank you. The public virtual meeting rules are as follows. Courtesy of the floor for non-agenda items will be at the beginning and end of the agenda. Public comment will be limited to 5 minutes per speaker. For all listed agenda items, the board president will call for courtesy of the floor prior to the board of commissioners taking action on that specific agenda item. For in-person attendees, please raise your hand to be recognized, then move to the podium when directed. You will be asked to state your name and address for the record and may then proceed with asking your question. For those participating virtually, please mute your microphone or telephone to avoid any background noise that may cause interference during the meeting. Chat box feature will be active throughout the meeting. If you have a comment or question, please type your full name and address into the chat box. The staff member monitoring GoToMeeting will then unmute your microphone and you will have the opportunity to comment or ask a question. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. I'd also like to note that the Board of Commissioners did meet in executive session prior to this evening's Board of Commissioners meeting to discuss legal and personnel matters. Agenda item number 4, courtesy of the floor. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the board on any non-agenda items. As Tom mentioned, there will be time for each agenda item for the public to comment, but courtesy of the floor is the opportunity to comment on non-agenda items. When I call on you, if you do have a comment, please approach the podium. Please give your name and address, and you will have 5 minutes from there to speak. Are there any members of the public at this time that wish to address the board? Okay. Seeing none. Any online, Dave?
We're having some sound issues, so I'm looking into that.
Right, and there will be another opportunity at the end of the meeting for courtesy of the floor as well. Moving on to agenda item 5, presentations. 5A, we have a badge pinning ceremony for 2 promotions within the police department, and I would like to introduce Chief of Police Frank Lombardo to please introduce these 2 presentations.
All right, I want to begin by thanking the Board of Commissioners and the Township Manager for their unwavering support of the police department. From the beginning of my tenure, an open and transparent dialogue about the strategic needs of the agency has been the basis for promotions such as these. The addition of a professional standards lieutenant is grounded in this transparency, along with accountability, professionalism, and organizational pride. See, there's many of our officers here in the back. These promotions stimulated the creation of job descriptions for each of the command staff positions, as well as the development of field training procedures for both sergeants and lieutenants. I'm especially grateful for command staff who worked extremely hard to translate these job descriptions and policy into a sustainable method for leadership and training. We do a lot of training of officers and sergeants, but it's on the street, I don't get to see that. In the building, to see Eric, and Steve mentoring Jared over these last 2 months has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my tenure. They did a great job. As I was going by the office and I saw it, it made me smile every time. You know, they're kind of giving some wisdom to them. Here to you guys, thank you for your support too. They really poured their hearts into getting him ready, and they set the bar high for the field training for the sergeants. Same thing for him. Now on to the promotion. Haley, you first. Now, Sergeant Haley Morawchuk grew up in South Whitehall Township and is a graduate of Parkland High School. Sergeant Morawchuk earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice from Kutztown University in 2017 and graduated soon. Sergeant Morawchuk was hired by the South Whitehall Township Police Department on July 5th, 2017. Throughout her career, she's taken several including the Project Lifesaver Coordinator, Recruitment Committee member, upgrading and maintaining the department's website, contributing to the new uniforms that will be rolling out very shortly, and spearheading the department's patch redesign, which will be coming out in the new uniform. Sergeant Marachuk has completed specialized training in Project Lifesaver and has served as a field training officer and has trained many officers. Her dedication and service has been recognized with a unit citation at the 2021 commendation ceremony, as well as a unit citation and the Chiefs Award at the recent one we had in November. What do you guys think? And a wink. I was always going to sit in the back, even if it's just the thing. Lieutenant Jared Wendell Barrett grew up in the Northampton area. He also attended Parkland High School, graduating in 2005. Jared is currently a mechanical engineering technology state university. Now, Lieutenant Wendell Barrett joined the South Whitehall Township Police Department in May 2012 and attended the Allentown Police Department. 2 years later, in 2014, Jared was assigned to the Lehigh County team, where he currently serves as the team leader. On a side note, all 3 team leaders on South Whitehall Township officer. His ERT role has benefited the agency, and now with years with our officers, he was promoted to the rank of sergeant in 2019 and served as a football supervisor. He will serve as a newly created professional standards lieutenant responsible for internal affairs, accreditation, one half of the patrol division. He's already made his mark, and I can see the benefits to not only command staff.
Thank you, Chief. And on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, I would like to thank both now Lieutenant Winklebauer and Sergeant Marachuk for their service to the township, their dedication, and also, as it's evident tonight, the dedication of their families. Policing is it's a family effort, it's a community effort, and I cannot be more grateful for you and your families to be part of the South Whitehall Township family of first responders. So thank you for all that you do. Moving on in our agenda item 6, minutes 6A, the January 5th, 2026 Board of Commissioners meeting minutes have been distributed to the board for their review. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, I will let our guests leave the room. Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes as presented?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Gronowski. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. I'll just give it a minute here as we wait for our police guests. All right, moving on in our agenda item 7, ordinances. 7A, we have an ordinance amending chapter 274, sewers and sewage disposal in the codified ordinances of the Township of South Whitehall, and providing for the addition of Part 7, sewer lateral inspection program, including definitions, the certificate of lateral compliance required, prohibitions, the certificate of lateral compliance, residential certificate of lateral compliance, multifamily, commercial, and institutional properties, testing, application, and procedure for inspections, additional standards for certification, timing, testing, failure mitigation, building sewer and sewer lateral compliance, issuance of certificate of compliance, repair or replacement of building sewer and sewer lateral upon sale or transfer, hardship deferrals, extension of time, violations and penalties, and to provide for severability, failure to enforce, not a waiver, repealer, and an effective date. And I would ask our Director of Public Works and Director of Township Operations, Herb Bender, to please present this item.
Thank you. We are just coming back to you. We had this in front of you before. Was advertised like we had to. What we're asking for is just so we can inspect the sanitary laterals at every sale of a house, commercial property. So we make sure they're in working order as we are in the corrective action plan at the Kleins Island treatment plant. This is all part of that to make sure we're not having inflow or infiltration getting into the sewer laterals to help correct the overflows down at Kleins Island.
Thank you, Herb. Is there any board comments, questions, or discussions on this?
Herb, I got a question for you. If we're a strip mall and somebody moves out of the strip mall and somebody else goes back in there, does that get inspected?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Johns. Any other commissioner questions or comments on this item? Are there any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to proceed, or is there a motion to adopt said ordinance? Motion by Commissioner Johns. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Herb. Agenda item 7B, we have an ordinance of the Township of South Whitehall providing for the vacation of an unopened alley known as Orator Street pursuant to Article 20 of the Pennsylvania First Class Township Code, and further providing for severability, repealer, and an effective date. And I would ask Director of Community Development, Dave Manhart, to please present this item.
Thank you. So this is represents the final step in the vacation of an unopened alley. The process, for those that aren't aware, it's been over a year where we're working with the utilities, neighbors to see if they want access to the alley. Everything's been cleared. We had to file a report with the county, and it was open for objections, and nothing was filed. So we're now clear to advertise the ordinance. So this is just a motion to advertise that ordinance.
Thank you, Dave. Is there any board comments or questions on this?
Just the Shane. Yes. Okay.
Any other questions or comments from the board? And are there any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to proceed with the advertising of said ordinance? Motion by Commissioner Johns. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up, agenda item 8, resolutions. I will move through these series of resolutions. They are a series of appointments and reappointments to various township positions. Agenda item 8A, we have a resolution appointing Kristen Blonick to the position of Assistant Township Secretary. Is there any board discussion? Or any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution appointing Kristen Blonick to the position of Township Secretary? Motion by Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Gronowski. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. The next two resolutions, 8B and 8C, they are resolutions appointing two commissioners to the South Whitehall Township Pension Committee. I will say before I open it up to general board comment, I did have the opportunity to ask the 5 commissioners individually which committees they would like to serve on. We will have some appointments later on in our meeting for other committees. So I personally would like to make a motion for 8B, a motion to adopt a resolution appointing Commissioner Gronowski to the South Whitehall Township Pension Committee, unless there's any further discussion from the board.
I'll second that motion.
A second by Commissioner Kelly. Any board discussion? Any discussion from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. 8C, we have an identical resolution. I would like to make a motion to nominate, to adopt said resolution appointing Commissioner Johns to the South Whitehall Township Pension Committee. Is there any board discussion or a second?
Second.
Thank you. Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any further board discussion? Or discussion from the public? Seeing none, there is a motion and second on the floor. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8D, we have a resolution reappointing Vincent Quinn as a regular member of the South Whitehall Township Civil Service Commission. Is there any board discussion on this matter? Any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution appointing Vincent Quinn as a regular member of the South Whitehall Township Civil Service Commission? Motion by Commissioner Johns. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8E, we have a resolution reappointing Frank Petroselli to the South Whitehall Township Environmental Advisory Council. Is there any board discussion on this matter? I will just add that Frank has served on the Environmental Advisory Council for well over a year now. He was previously a member of the Township's Green Advisory Council, and I would like to thank him for his continued interest and service as the board has worked to reinvigorate that very important township board that deals with a variety of environmental related issues that may impact our township residents. Is there any other board discussion on this matter? Or any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution reappointing Frank Petroselli to the South Whitehall Township Environmental Advisory Council? A motion by Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker and a second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8F, we have a resolution reappointing David Wilson to the South Whitehall Township Landscape and Shade Tree Commission. Is there any board discussion on this matter? Is there any discussion from members of the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution reappointing David Wilson to the South Whitehall Township Landscape and Shade Tree Commission? A motion by Commissioner Gronowski. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8G, we have a resolution reappointing Jessica Beller of the Parkland School District to the South Whitehall Township Parks and Recreation Board. Is there any board discussion on this resolution? Any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution reappointing Jessica Beller to the South Whitehall Township Parks and Recreation Board? Motion by Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Gronowski. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8H, we have a resolution reappointing Terry Horn of the Parkland School District to the South Whitehall Township Parks and Recreation Board. Is there any board discussion on this matter? Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution reappointing Terry Horn to the South Whitehall Township Parks and Recreation Board? Motion by Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8I, we have a resolution reappointing Mark Luth to the South Whitehall Township Planning Commission. Any board discussion on this matter? Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution reappointing Mark Luth to the South Whitehall Township Planning Commission? Motion by Commissioner Johns. Is there a second? There's a second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8J, we have a resolution reappointing Michael J. Smith to the South Whitehall Township Public Safety Commission. Is there any board discussion on this? Any discussion from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution reappointing Michael J. Smith to the South Whitehall Township Public Safety Commission?
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second? Second from Commissioner Granovsky. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8K, we have a resolution reappointing Don S. Klein to the South Whitehall Township Zoning Hearing Board. I would ask if there is any board discussion on this matter. I will personally note, if the board indulges me, South Whitehall Township does have a new staff member joining staff quite soon, I believe in the next week, as a director of development. And I do believe it would be prudent before we consider reappointments to our zoning hearing board to allow that staff member time to assess the zoning hearing board, assess the relationship between staff and the zoning hearing board, and report back to the Board of Commissioners, and also give this board, this new board, an opportunity to observe that critical board. So unless there is any difference in agreement among my fellow commissioners, I would propose that I would make a motion to table the resolution reappointing Don Klein to the South Whitehall Township Zoning Hearing Board until we're able to get further feedback from new staff members, recognizing, of course, that per the First Class Township Code, Mr. Klein would continue to serve in his role as a member of the Zoning Hearing Board until this board takes further action down the road. There is a second on my motion to table said resolution. Is there any further board discussion on this matter? Is there discussion from the public? Seeing none, there's a motion and second on the floor. All those in favor of tabling the said resolution reappointing Don Klein to the South Whitehall Township Zoning Hearing Board, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? This motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8L. We have a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of South Whitehall Township, Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, authorizing the Chief of Police to execute a full-time municipal/regional police department speed enforcement intergovernmental agreement with the Pennsylvania State Police. And I would ask the Chief of Police, Frank Lombardo, to please present this agenda.
Thank you, Commissioners. So a priority of the police department is the safe travel of our residents and visitors throughout the township. To that end, we have implemented a township-wide traffic safety initiative focused on the high-injury network of roadways as designated in the Township Comprehensive Plan drafted in 2023 and the Transportation Plan. Integral to the Vision Zero initiative are speed management, high visibility enforcement, and targeted traffic enforcement. As municipal police agencies are not yet permitted to utilize radar by state statute, Sergeant Wishner, I think just stepped out, has identified a partnership with the Pennsylvania State Police to do so. The initial effort will be targeted radar enforcement details on Route 309, funded through the Aggressive Driving Grant. The partnership will be memorialized via a memorandum of understanding and a township resolution. So the police department's respectfully requesting approval by the Board of Commissioners to execute an MOU with the Pennsylvania State Police to conduct radar enforcement details on Route 309 and a motion to approve the resolution memorializing same.
Thank you, Chief. Before I open it up to board comment, I did just want to thank you, Chief, and thank Sergeant Wishner for coming to this resolution. It's been quite a headache for many years, I know, for the department and for municipal police departments across the Commonwealth to enforce certain speeding violations, given that Pennsylvania is the only state in the country that does not allow sole municipal use of radar. And we we certainly know that getting Harrisburg to change anything is difficult, much less a major change to the motor vehicle code. But I would like to thank Sergeant Wishner for helping to identify and put this together as a way of working, partnering with the state police to use some of this technology on Route 309 and hopefully curb some of the more serious speeding infractions that we see that affect public safety. So I would just like to thank you, Chief, and thank Sergeant Wishner.
No, I wish
coming
he
up
had
with this
stepped out.
innovative approach that I was not aware was possible.
Yeah, it's a good stopgap measure. We have a great relationship with Troop M, and the commander was more than willing to help us. And this, I would hope, would be just the start. We'll do more.
So thank you, Chief. Is there any other board comment? Any comment from the public? All right. That being said, is there a motion to adopt said resolution authorizing the chief of police to execute a full-time municipal regional police department speed enforcement intergovernmental agreement with the PA State Police? Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker did make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8M, we have a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of South Whitehall Township, Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, approving and adopting the South Whitehall Township Standard Construction Specifications and Standard Construction Details. And I would ask Director of Operations Herb Bender to please present this resolution.
Thank you. Administration respectfully requests approval to proceed with adoption of the revised standard construction documents dated January 2026. The previous revision was completed in June of 2023. The proposed updates include changes necessary to support the corrective action plan for the sewer system, revisions related to the water meter pits and meters, and the incorporation of the street excavation ordinance into the specifications. So we're just requesting to adopt the revised standard construction documents dated January 2026.
Thank you, Herb. I'll open this up to any board comment or questions on this matter. Seeing none, is there any public comment on this matter? Also seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution? Motion from Commissioner Johns. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Herb. Agenda item 8N, we have a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Township of South Whitehall, Lehigh County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, approving a grant of right-of-way agreement between South Whitehall Township and PPL Electric Utilities Corporation for the installation of electric and communication facilities on township property identified as Lehigh County tax parcel number 547752471675-1, and I would ask our township manager, Tom Petrucci, to please present this agenda item.
Thank you. So this right-of-way agreement with PPL is necessary as a result of the township's pole barn in addition to the municipal campus. So the parcel number you read is actually part of the township campus, and this property will have a separate address of 1540 Ridgeview Drive. So PPL has requested a permanent right-of-way to allow for the construction, operation, and maintenance of electric and communication facilities, those being 2 utility poles, 2 anchor guys, and associated overhead electric and communication lines as depicted on the plan that was included in your packet this evening. So it's all the standard language with PPL for access rights and so forth, and they're required to restore the property following any work that they conducted. We'll say the building is ready to be energized and actually energized today. So we are ready to dedicate that building to the campus for the use of the township very soon. So pleased to report that. I would seek a motion to approve the resolution.
Thank you, Tom. And Herb, in time for this weekend?
Yes, we actually energized it today with one of our big backup generators. So the heat's running in there right now. So this way we can put the reserve vehicles in case something will go down. They can just hop in it and go right back out.
Excellent. Right under the wire. Thank you. Thank you, Herb. Is there any board discussion on this?
I just
wanted to say, since Commissioner Roth mentioned about this weekend, I do want to say this past weekend, I think the team did a great job, and I just want to wish you well for what's upcoming. And thank you so much.
Thank you, and I will make sure to pass that on to everyone that helped clean it all up.
Is there any other board comment? Is there any comment from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution approving a grant of right-of-way agreement between South Whitehall Township and PPL Electric Utilities Corporation? Motion by Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8O, we have a resolution reducing the contributions by police officers to the South Whitehall Township Police Pension Plan for the year January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2026. And I'd ask our Township Manager, Tom Petrucci, to please present.
Thank you. So Article 4 of Chapter 58, which is the police pension plan of our township code. So it notes that in the ordinance, it requires members of the police pension plan to contribute an amount equal to 5% of their compensation to the pension plan. However, that amount is not consistent with what has been negotiated in their CBA. So the current CBA runs through December 31st, 2026. So in accordance with Act 600, we must pass a resolution which confirms the amount that they'll actually be paying for their contributions to the pension for 2026, which is 2.50%. So I would respectfully request a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted to effectuate that contribution rate.
Thank you, Tom. I'll open this up to any board comments or questions on this matter. Seeing none, are there any questions or comments from members of the public? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution reducing contributions by police officers to the South Whitehall Township Police Pension Plan for the year January 1, 2026, December 31, 2026? A motion by Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker and a second from Commissioner Granovsky. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8P, we have a resolution establishing the required employee contribution amount for the South Whitehall Township Public Works Union Pension Plan for the year January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2026. And again, I will turn things over to our Township Manager, Tom Petrucci.
Thank you. So last year, the board amended Chapter 58, Article 5, which is the Public Works Union Employees Pension Plan, at the employee contribution section to memorialize the fact that the pension contribution paid by those employees that are subject to the defined benefit plan would be consummate with what is set forth in their collective bargaining agreement and is approved by the resolution of the board on an annual basis. So the current CBA between the township and the Teamsters Local 773 Public Works Union, which runs through December 31st, 2029, provides that their employee contribution amount is 1.75% for the fiscal year 2026. So this resolution confirms that in accordance with state requirements for the pension plan as well as the township's local ordinance. So I'd seek a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted.
Thank you very much, Tom. Is there any board comments or questions on this matter? Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution establishing the required employee contribution amount for the South Whitehall Township Public Works Union Pension Plan for the year January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2026? Motion by Commissioner Johns. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? This motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 8Q, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Township of South Whitehall, Lehigh County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, approving the settlement stipulation in the matter of Parkland School District v. County of Lehigh Board of Assessment Appeals and HP 3 Lehigh Valley 1503 LLC.
Thank you. So this is one of those matters where Parkland School District has actually appealed a decision that the property board assessment
for the county actually set forth for the property at 1503 North Cedar Crest Boulevard, which is, I believe, is the LVHN site. So in this case, this is not one that we're reducing the assessment; we're actually increasing it. So for 2025, it'll increase to 39 million, and then in January 1st, 2026, it'll increase to 40 million. So the township's a party to all of these appeals, and the solicitor's office has been monitoring them. So we need to sign off then. So this allows the solicitors to do so.
Thank you, Tom. And I would just ask our solicitor, Attorney Joe Zader, if he has any comment on this item or the next, which is a very similar resolution.
I have no affirmative comment for either, other than, to me, it makes sense to go along with Parkland's decision and settle according to the terms of the settlement.
Thank you, Joe. Is there any board discussion on this resolution? Or any discussion or comments from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution approving the settlement stipulation in the matter of Parkland School District versus County of Lehigh Board of Assessment Appeals and HP 3 Lehigh Valley 1503 LLC?
Motion.
A motion by Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Fellinger Ricker. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Very similar item, agenda item 8R. We have a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Township of South Whitehall, Lehigh County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, approving the settlement stipulation in the matter of Parkland School District versus County of Lehigh Board of Assessment Appeals and HP 3 Lehigh Valley 1621 LLC. Tom, if you have any further comments on this.
Just that it's not changing the assessment in any way. It's a one-time payment that will be made to Parkland School District. So the township, there's no impact to the township essentially. So I'd recommend you go ahead and approve it.
Thank you, Tom.
If you're so inclined.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Is there any board discussion or comments on this? Any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt said resolution approving the settlement stipulation in the matter of Parkland School District versus the County of Lehigh Board of Assessment Appeals and HB 3 Lehigh Valley 1621 LLC?
Make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Ganovsky. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Moving on in our agenda to agenda item 9, motions. 9A, we have a motion to appoint 2 commissioners to the Budget and Finance Committee, building off of what I talked about earlier. These committees aid the township staff in a variety of ways and help bring ideas before township staff before they get to the level of the full board. Budget and Finance certainly being a critical part of that. I would like to make a motion to appoint Commissioners Gronowski and Johns to the Budget and Finance Committee. Is there any comment or a second?
Second.
I have a second, 2 seconds, a second. Is there any further board discussion? Any discussion from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And item 9B, motion to appoint 2 commissioners to the Volunteer Fire Company Subcommittee. I would like to nominate Commissioners Kelly and myself to the Volunteer Fire Company Subcommittee of the Public Safety Commission to aid our volunteer fire companies in getting the resources they need and working through a variety of issues that they have to deal with and the township has to deal with. Is there any discussion or a second to my motion? A second from Commissioner Fellinger Ricker. Any further board discussion? Any from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor of appointing Commissioners Kelly and Roth to the Volunteer Fire Company Subcommittee, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And lastly, we have a motion to appoint 2 commissioners to the America 250 PA Ad Hoc Committee. This committee was formed last year with the purpose of coordinating township events and ways to promote the celebration of the semi-quincentennial occurring about halfway through this year. I've served on this committee for a couple of months. It's a great committee, great to work with staff and development of some initiatives. So I would like to make a motion to appoint Commissioners Roth and Fellinger Ricker to this committee, so we can continue to work on some of those initiatives as we move towards this historic celebration. Is there any further board discussion or a second to my motion?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any more discussion? A public discussion. All those in favor of appointing Commissioners Roth and Fellinger Ricker to the America 250 PA Ad Hoc Committee, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up, agenda item 9D, we have a motion to approve the Fire Apparatus Fund capital expenditure in the amount of $1,847,976 for the replacement of Rescue 11 in accordance with the CoStar's contract, authorizing approval of a purchase order for the Pierce Manufacturing Enforcer heavy-duty walk-in rescue apparatus. I would turn this over to Township Manager Tom Petrucci. Presentation.
Thank you. So before you this evening is a request for capital expenditure approval to replace Rescue 11, which is a 2006 KME heavy rescue apparatus currently assigned to Greenwald's Fire Company, and that piece of apparatus has reached the end of its recommended service life. So it's approximately 20 years old, and it exceeds the NFPA recommended 15 to 20-year frontline service life, and it's experiencing increasing maintenance and reliability issues and associated costs, including frequent electrical failures, deteriorating safety components, corrosion, and a failing generator. So those have, as I mentioned, resulted in increased annual maintenance costs and reduced operational reliability. So the proposed replacement is a Pierce Manufacturing Enforcer heavy-duty walk-in rescue apparatus, which is designed to meet current and future all hazards response needs, improve firefighter safety and ergonomics, increase crew capacity, and support the expanding operational mission of Greenwald's Fire Rescue. The walk-in configuration allows for improved equipment organization, faster deployment, and safer access to tools and seating. So this apparatus has been competitively bid and specified and priced as well through the Pennsylvania CoStar's Cooperative Purchasing Program. So specifically CoStar's contract number 013E22242. The price for the apparatus is $1,847,976, inclusive of improved options and applicable discounts. So it's subject to standard manufacturer escalation provisions due to the extended production lead time of approximately 44 to 48 months. This piece of apparatus, should you order this, approve the order, would not arrive in the township till 2030. So this replacement is also consistent with the township's long-term apparatus replacement plan and aligns with findings from the 2025 DCED study, which identified Rescue 11 for replacement, and the pricing is in line with that study as well. So funding for the expenditure is anticipated to be addressed through the township's capital planning and financing process, which was already done with the increase to the fire millage tax rate as confirmed by the Board of Commissioners in December. So fire company Greenwald's, as well as all of the volunteer fire companies, have really helped to offset some of their costs with grants and fundraising efforts where applicable, specifically grant funding. So I'd seek approval to authorize this capital expenditure. Chief Garger is here tonight to actually go through his presentation as well. So I won't ask for a motion at this point, but Chief Garger, if you want to step up, Dave Manhart, you can pull up the PDF of the PowerPoint. I appreciate it.
Good evening, Commissioners. Tom already hit a lot of the points that I'm going to address, so I'll try to go through it and keep it pretty brief, but thank you for the opportunity to present today. I'm Chief Andrew Garger from the Greenwald's Fire Department, for those that I haven't met yet, and I'm here to discuss a critical investment in our community's safety, and that is replacing our aging heavy rescue unit. The new vehicle will enhance our capabilities, ensure firefighter safety, and better serve South Whitehall Township. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the challenges, our evolving mission, our thorough research, and why this is a sensible long-term decision. Quick overview, we'll start with the current challenges facing Rescue 11, then discuss how our mission has grown to meet our community needs. I'll cover our research, due diligence, the department's commitment to enhancements, the timeline and costs, and wrap up with recommendations before opening for any questions you may have. So we'll start with the reality. Our current Rescue 11, as was mentioned, is a 2006 KME, and it served us faithfully for 20 years, but it's at the end of its frontline life. The NFPA recommends 15 to 20 years for these vehicles, and we're starting to see the signs of the vehicle's age. Maintenance costs are exceeding $10,000 annually, and that's money that we feel could be redirected to better serve the community. The current truck has a lot of wear and tear, frequent electrical malfunctions often take it out of service at critical moments. Failing safety components like broken seats put our firefighters at risk during responses. Paint and corrosion issues, misaligned compartment doors that don't seal properly and often leak, a failing generator, and unsecured tool shelves all compromise efficiency and safety. Our volunteers deserve safe and reliable equipment. They've responded to countless calls, risking their safety for the benefit of others, and this truck is starting to, unfortunately, let them down. Replacing it isn't a luxury. It's essential to prevent breakdowns that could delay life-saving interventions. Our role has evolved dramatically. What started as basic vehicle rescue now includes an all hazards response. Technical rescues, vehicle and machinery extrications, rope rescues, collapse rescues, and a much bigger role at structural fire incidents. Call volume and demand for the rescue company has risen significantly year over year, as you can see on the graph in your briefing package, from around 60 responses for that particular apparatus in 2014, and we're projecting over 140 responses for 2026. The current walk-around configuration wasn't designed to meet today's demands. It makes quick access to tools challenging, slowing down our highly trained team. Our firefighters are responsible for being experts in vehicle extrication and various types of technical rescue operations. We are also one of only 3 rapid intervention teams in Lehigh County charged with rescuing other firefighters who become trapped or incapacitated while operating at a fire. They've saved lives in confined spaces, extricated victims from vehicle wrecks, disentangled patients from heavy machinery, and trained relentlessly to be recognized by the Pennsylvania Department of Health and the State Fire Commissioner, not only as a heavy rescue company, but also as an EMS asset, providing both rescue and emergency medical care simultaneously. The new walk-in design will improve ergonomics, allow better tool organization for quicker deployment, and increase crew capacity from 6 to 8 members. This means safer, faster responses, honoring our firefighters' commitment and meeting the growing needs of our residents. The replacement aligns, as Tom indicated, perfectly with the 2025 DCED study and our internal reviews at the volunteer subcommittee, which outlined apparatus needs through 2037. As the table on the screen shows, Rescue 11 is slated for a 2029 replacement, which coincides with current vehicle delivery times. The replacement rescue supports key township priorities, including enhancing responses to emerging hazards, maintaining a dedicated heavy rescue company, and ensuring long-term cost effectiveness. By investing now, we avoid escalating maintenance costs and position Greenwalds to handle future challenges like increased traffic incidents and more complex construction and manufacturing emergencies. It's not just about one truck, it's about sustaining elite rescue services across all of South Whitehall's fire companies. We didn't come to this decision lightly. A dedicated committee comprised of experts in various aspects of the vehicle and equipment evaluated options from Pierce, SVI, KME, Spartan ERV, Ferrara, and E1 for quality and cost. The team visited firehouses in Ocean City, Maryland, and the FDNY's Rescue 1 in Manhattan to review similar builds from different manufacturers. They also monitored the progress of a similar local rescue being built for the Palmer Township. After thorough review, we chose Pierce Manufacturing for their superior craftsmanship, quality control, excellent customer support, and detailed designs that minimize any potential change orders. They're also already building Citronia's Tower 3 replacement, so we're very familiar with their work. This ensures we get a reliable, high-performing vehicle tailored to our needs. Greenwalds is also invested in this project along with the township. We're sharing the burden to outfit the apparatus and train our members through grants and fundraising. We've secured PA State Fire Commissioners grants for hydraulic tools, rope, and water water equipment. We raised funds for structural and heavy vehicle shoring, thermal imaging cameras, rapid intervention tools, and advanced power tools. We've used CARES Act funding to upgrade our personal protective equipment, respiratory protection, and communications needs. In progress, we have more grants coming up for new rope rescue equipment, heavy lifting and rigging equipment, stabilization capabilities, and new battery-operated hydraulic tools. But it's our members who make the difference. We have over 50 highly trained firefighters and rescue technicians who continually drill on firefighter removal techniques and technical rescue disciplines. These volunteers give countless hours. Excuse me. Their achievements and the many lives they've saved and positively impacted show why investing in them pays off for the entire township. Now, some of the details. The cost is approximately, as indicated, just shy of $1.9 million, which is also subject to a 1% compounded quarterly increase if not ordered now. The current lead time is about 48 months, so ordering it today means delivery in late 2029 or early 2030, in line with the replacement schedule. We anticipate a service life of another 20 years, so a new rescue would not be necessary until approximately 2050. The replacement will also save our taxpayers by contributing much less to the maintenance of the fleet. This is a long-term investment, safer operations, improved efficiency, and readiness for future demands. Think of it as protecting lives and property while controlling costs over time, a win for the taxpayers and the first responders. So in summary, our 2006 Rescue 11 has served us well for over 2 decades, but is aging out with rising costs and safety issues. Our mission has expanded, call volumes are up, and the demand for Greenwald's rescue services continues to rise. We request approval to replace it with a new Pierce walk-in rescue. This investment honors our firefighters' dedication and ensures top-tier protection for South Whitehall. Thank you for your continued support of our volunteers who uphold the values and traditions of service to their community. We're grateful for your time and partnership. I'll take any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Andrew. That was amazing. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
The new truck costs 1.9, right? Correct.
Correct.
What do we get for the 1 year and now?
There's a pretty competitive market for used fire apparatus right now, not only domestically but internationally. There's a need for it. So to get the best value out of it, we probably seek out the assistance of a broker to help us find a good replacement home, so it doesn't wind up just being sold for parts.
You have no idea what it's worth to you.
I do not, but I can get that for you.
Thank you.
And we have to meet the first class township code requirements for disposal as well.
And it will also be an additional 4 years older by the time it's ready to be sold.
Chief Carter, I just wanted to thank you for your presentation this evening. I want to thank Township Administration for working through our subcommittee. You referenced the 2025 DCED study that's been done, which was a very important tool, a piece of information for us moving forward. Appreciate cooperation from you as well as the chiefs from Lamar and Citronia to develop this long-range plan that'll take us through 2037. I am really impressed with the presentation you made this evening. Thank you for all the volunteers being here tonight to support you as well. And I'm looking forward to getting this ordered for you.
Thank you.
For the
Appreciate
community.
Board questions?
I just have one question. You confirm that it will fit in the garage, correct?
It will fit in the garage, yes.
Great.
More detail.
Thanks for checking that now and not in 2030. Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate it. Any comments or questions from the public on this motion before we proceed? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the fire apparatus expenditure as previously articulated?
I'll make that motion.
A motion from Commissioner Kelly and a second from Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations. Good luck. And I know it's going to be a long waiting, but you'll get there. So thank you guys. All right, moving on in our agenda item 9E, we have a motion to approve the 2026 installment in the amount of $43,998.83 for the Axon Taser 10. And I would ask Police Chief Frank Lombardo at this item?
And Commissioners, in 2025, the Police Department entered into a 5-year contract with Axon for the purchase and maintenance of 47 Taser 10 less lethal tools. This advanced technology was purchased to enhance our capability to effectively manage high-stress situations and ensure officer safety. The Taser 10 has improved features, training, and performance over the Taser 7, which is why they bought it. The contract for the Taser 10 units includes a yearly payment plan, which facilitates budget management and ongoing support and maintenance. The cost of the second yearly payment for 2026 is $43,998.43 and includes maintenance and training costs. So what we're requesting respectfully is that the 2026 installment for the Axon Taser 10 was previously included in the approved 2026 capital budget at the December 3rd, 2025 BOC meeting. The Police Department is respectfully requesting approval to pay the 2026 installment in the amount of $43,998.83.
Thank you, Chief. I'll open it up to any board discussion on this matter. Seeing none, is there any comments from members of the public? So seeing none, is there a motion to approve the 2026 installment in the amount of $43,998.83 for the Axon Taser 10?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries 5-0. And item 9F, we have a motion to proceed with the purchase of 4 Chevrolet Tahoes from Chapman Auto Group with a cost of $58,936 each for a total cost of $235,744 with subsequent upfitting of the 4 Chevrolet Tahoes by KML Transport in the amount of $82,402.56. Again, I will ask Chief Lombardo to please present.
Thank you. So the Police Department is in the process of fleet upgrades. As part of the 2026 fleet plan, we're purchasing 4 Chevy Tahoes to replace the current command vehicles. These vehicles were approved as part of the 2026 budget on December 3rd, 2025, and will require subsequent upfitting by KML Transport. Upon completion, 3 of the existing command vehicles will be converted to Criminal Investigation Division vehicles, while the Chief's vehicle will be decommissioned due to age and mileage. Once these vehicles are online and the reassignments are made, 4 vehicles will be sent to Municipal, maintaining the current fleet of 32 vehicles. So the Police Department is respectfully requesting approval by the Board of Commissioners to purchase 4 Chevy Tahoes from Chapman Auto Group at a co-star's price of $58,936 each for a total cost of $235,744. Upfitting for the 4 vehicles was secured with 2025 pricing at the December 17th, 2025 Board of Commissioners meeting in the amount of $82,402.56. While the 2026 capital budget for command vehicles was $320,000, the total cost for the 4 Chevy Tahoe vehicles is $319,146.56, with a remaining balance of $853.44, thanks to the work of command staff who achieved the earlier pricing for that and working with the KML outfitter.
Thank you, Chief. Any board discussion on this matter? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to proceed with the purchase of the 4 Chevrolet Tahoes with subsequent upfitting in the amount previously stipulated? Motion by Commissioner Johns and a second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 9G. We have a motion to proceed with the purchase of 1 Ford F600 equipped with a dump body and snow equipment for a total cost of $90,000. Director of Operations, Herb Bender.
Thank you. The Public Works Division respectfully requests to approve to proceed with ordering 1 Ford F600 equipped with a dump body and snow equipment at a total cost of $90,000. This vehicle will replace a 2011 Ford F350 currently in service with approximately 85,000 miles. The existing truck has experienced significant undercarriage rust to the bed rails and ongoing check engine light issues. making continued operation and repairs increasingly impractical to keep doing. So what we're asking is for a motion to proceed with purchase of the Ford F600 with a snowplow and a dump body. And just so everyone knows, this truck is fully ready to go. This truck was originally listed for $130,000. We got the dealer to agree to $90,000 and we can pick it up. It is ready to be picked up tomorrow if the board so inclines to approve it.
Thank you, Herb, and I'd like to thank you for your diligence in all of these projects and purchases. The ability to work with the dealer to get a vehicle $40,000 under the original purchasing price, the ability to control the expenditures of the Public Works Department year over year makes purchases like this and all the purchases we'll hopefully approve for you this evening easy, within budget, and well within our financial capabilities. So I just want to thank you and the team for all you do to ensure that we get these at a great price too.
Thank you.
Is there any further board discussion on this matter?
I'd just like to strongly agree with your comments. Thank you, Herb, for everything you do.
Further board comments? Any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to proceed with the purchase of one Ford F600 equipped with a dump body and snow equipment for a total cost of $90,000? Motion by Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 9H, we have a motion to proceed with the purchase of a Levoy L300T tack tank for a total cost of $30,464.31. And again, we'll ask Herb Bender to please present.
Thank you. Public Works respectfully request permission to move forward with ordering the Levoy L300T tack tank. This purchase will help reduce the costs we currently incur for the road tacking as part of our paving program. We are billed for a 4-hour minimum. Whether the tack truck is there for an hour, 2 hours, we're automatically billed 4 hours. We can purchase the tack oil through CoStars, which we will get that pricing very soon. So we would be able to tack these streets ourselves, and any other kind of street work that we have to do, we can tack it instead of having to keep hiring and outsourcing this. So that's why we are looking for a motion to proceed with ordering a tack tank so we can do it in-house. And just so everyone is aware, if the order is placed tomorrow, if approved tonight, we will not receive this till the end of March or beginning of April.
Thank you, Herb. Is there any board comment or discussion? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to proceed with the purchase of a Levoy L300T tack tank for a total cost of $30,464.31?
Motion.
A motion from Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second? Second from Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item 9I, we have a motion to proceed with the purchase of one Ford F350 equipped with a utility body and snowplow for a total cost of $83,921.35. And again, I will ask Herb Bender to please.
Thank you. Public Works Utility Division respectfully requests approval to proceed with ordering one Ford F350 equipped with a utility body and snowplow at a total cost of $83,921.35. The vehicle will replace a 2015 Ford F350 currently in service with approximately 91,500 miles. The existing truck has experienced significant undercarriage rust and ongoing suspension issues, making operations and repair increasingly impractical to keep doing. So we are asking to move forward with purchase of a Ford F350 with a snowplow and utility body with Thomasino Ford again.
I did have a question. Given that the pole barn will soon be operational, obviously a lot of our public works vehicles take a lot of wear and tear when they're out in use, particularly in the winter. But by having that facility, will that reduce the wear and tear, the rusting, and some of the other long-term issues we see with a lot of our vehicles?
Yes, it's not only going to do it to these pickup trucks that you're seeing are $80,000, $90,000. It's going to get our $250,000 trucks out of the weather also. So we should see a significant increase in the life of the trucks. Yes.
Thank you. We'll open it up to any other board comments or questions on this?
Garbage, that truck coming from the same company.
Same company. Unfortunately, this one has to go for the upfitter for the plow. So this one, the utility body is there. We just got to get this one sent there to get a plow. But I will try to push them to try to have it before the weekend.
Thank you, Herb. Any other board comments? Any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to proceed with the purchase of one Ford F-350 equipped with a utility body and snowplow for a total cost of $83,921.35? Motion from Commissioner Johns. Is there a second? Second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, one more for you, Herb. Agenda item 9J, we have a motion to proceed with the purchase of one John Deere 410P backhoe for a total cost of $188,427.
Thank you. Public Works Utility Division respectfully requests approval to proceed with ordering one John Deere 410P backhoe. This backhoe will replace a 2002 Caterpillar backhoe currently in service with approximately 91,000 hours. The existing backhoe has experienced significant undercarriage rust to the floor of the cab and to the doors. The boom has extensive pinware issues, making it unsafe to operate, making continued operation and repairs increasingly impractical. So this backhoe has been moved to more as we don't even use it right now because it is unsafe. So we are requesting a motion to proceed with purchase of a John Deere 410P backhoe. This was budgeted for $190,000 in the 2026 budget. And just so everyone knows, if we sign this tomorrow again, we will not receive this till July or August.
Thank you, Herb. Any questions or comments from the board?
That four-wheel drive, the new backhoe.
Yes, it will be. Yes.
Any further comments? Any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to proceed with the purchase of one John Deere 410P backhoe for a total cost of $188,427? Motion from Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker and a second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Herb. Agenda item 9K. We have a motion to authorize the township manager to execute a pre-development tree clearing agreement with CDE Acquisitions LLC relating to property owned by the Jarris Corporation at 2493 North Cedar Crest Boulevard, which agreement shall be specifically conditioned on the receipt of outside agency permits and approvals. I would please ask our township manager, Tom Petrucci, to present.
Thank you. So this would involve the tree clearing of approximately 71 acres at this site. So 2493 North Cedar Crest Boulevard, it's owned by Jarris Corporation. They have submitted a proposal to clear that acreage amount, but then also maintain the 51% canopy. However, at this point, based upon a review of recent materials where the Conservation District is indicating that they have a number of outstanding concerns and they're recommending that we don't proceed with, or the applicant does not proceed with tree clearing at this point, I am recommending that we table this item. There's a lot of unknowns, and then there's a specific public safety concern as well, which I'm just not comfortable with at this time, signing off on. So I don't know if the applicant would like to elaborate more or respond to that, but at this point, in my role as township manager, I'm not comfortable from a public safety standpoint on executing any agreement at this point until that issue has been worked out.
Tom?
Sure, if I may.
Absolutely.
I'm Greg Edelman here on behalf of CD Acquisitions. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak with the board this evening. I believe what Tom is referring to is an email we got from Conservation District where they confirmed that the applicant would not be required to get an NPDES permit under Chapter 102 regulations. In that email, Conservation District did, in typical government fashion, couch their statement of, we don't think you need any permits, but here are the things that we think we'll be looking at and or we think may actually occur or may not be issues, none of which exist today, none of which we believe will be issues. I understand Tom's concern. We obviously haven't had any conversations with respect to this. It's the first time we're hearing this from the township with respect to this issue. The agreement overall does provide a benefit in that if the timber harvesting is allowed to proceed early, the reforestation is a requirement. So the applicant would have to provide approximately $900,000 in security to replant 21 acres of trees, which is about 15,000 trees based on our estimates. If they are not allowed to move forward with timber harvesting, which is an approved forestry use under zoning ordinance, and they have to wait until development time, reforestation does not occur. So it's not a requirement under your ordinance, but it is as part of your forestry. You have to maintain that canopy cover. So there is a benefit to allowing the applicant to move forward. If this gets jammed up because Conservation District throws 27 things up against the wall, none of which we believe are actually valid or existing, then we get stuck because the township gets nervous. We have a timber harvesting agreement we believe that adequately protects the township. It's consistent with your forestry requirements. It has all the requirements in there, and it is conditioned upon getting any outside agency permits and approvals that may be required, although we don't believe any are required because we're not actually hauling the wood and the lumber off the site. We're just felling the trees and leaving them in place until such time as we then move forward with the development. So the ENS concerns and a lot of the concerns Conservation District is raising, saying you should wait until the development is approved and that you should wait until everything's in order, we don't believe are justified based upon what we're proposing to do. We also think it loses that big benefit for the township. The trees will be cleared and there will be no reforestation. So we'd ask not to delay. I understand Tom's concern. We can discuss with the township and come back and circle back if you're not comfortable doing it this evening. But it's certainly something we don't believe Conservation District's ever going to give you, Tom, that sense of warm and fuzzy, because in their minds, we shouldn't cut trees until we actually have a project approved. And if that occurs, then reforestation doesn't happen. It also slows us down. That was the whole basis of this. We were trying to move forward at a quicker pace so that we could basically have the site prepped, ready to go, assuming there's an approval, and we wouldn't have to spend the time in cutting the trees later. Also, it's a permitted use regardless of what happens with the development. So even if you put that aside and you said it was never developed, your ordinance permits it, the law permits it, it's forestry. So.
Right, and I recognize that, and there are some requirements of our ordinance too that we would need to see met, which you did contemplate in the agreement.
Yes,
but they just have not been submitted to date. So there's a lot of compounding factors here.
Which other ones?
So we're having a timber harvesting. There's a few. I mean, we can go through them. We could.
Yeah, I mean, the plan was submitted to the township. The cost estimates were submitted to the township. That's the only two things that I know of other than outside agency approvals. And if we're not logging and pulling them off the site, the felled trees, then there's no ENS requirements. That's what Conservation District confirmed in their email.
Yeah, we received the draft plan. So I mean, there was not a formal submission. We haven't had the opportunity to have it reviewed by a qualified consultant. So like you're just going through some of the requirements. We're not sure if it's consistent with the timber harvesting guidelines for the Pennsylvania Model Forestry Regulations. All that's provided for in the ordinance. We just haven't had an opportunity to go through all that.
I mean, we'll talk to you about it, but we did submit this over a month ago. And I know Mr. Manhart's reviewed it, so we have gone through some of the discussions with the township. And these are all first-time things that you're, telling us this evening. And delay for us is an issue. That's why we're willing to put up excessive amounts of security before we even have a project approved.
Yeah,
So it's
I
really
will
critical.
say, yeah, we've been reviewing it, but then the email from the Conservation District just came in yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
So that really shone a spotlight on some of the issues.
When's the board's next meeting?
It's February 4th, so it's not that far away.
Yeah, sure. That's what I was just thinking in my head timing. So, Mr.
I actually was going to ask the same thing, but I just as an example of, I guess, the lack of communication with the conservation district. Uh, they had no idea about how we envisioned cutting down the trees. You would expect, and they did expect, they told us that somehow heavy vehicles were going to be placed all over this parcel, which of course would create rutting and erosion and all of those items. Our contractor, I'm speaking on behalf of Jerris, our contractor has agreed to cut the trees down manually using chainsaws. So it's people on the property. It's a process that they've used many times in the past. Conservation District, as we sit here today, and when they wrote that letter, they were not aware of that. So I understand your concerns, Tom. I guess what we're asking, since it says subject to permits, is the agreement otherwise acceptable? And we will go and get the permits if they are required. We just think we have to have more communication with them to convince them that we have all the permits that are necessary. And if we don't, and either Conservation District or DEP says no, then the agreement says that we prepared, says that the activities cannot begin unless until that occurs.
I've not seen anything specific on addressing the public safety issue as well. How are you addressing
What is
the potential for exploding ordnance on the site?
See, they don't know that. We've had probably 4 different environmental studies, including a specialized ordnance study done.
Mhm.
They're taking that position.
So we have copies of 2 of the site assessments. So if there is, that's new information. If there is an ordinance study, that's kind of what is kind of holding this up. So I think a lot of it has to do with more information, and things were just brought to light through that email. And that's the comfort level.
I will say, let's assume that Trojan powder 100 years ago did put something in the ground. Somebody with a chainsaw won't be doing anything that somebody who's been farming there with tractors wouldn't have already done for the last 10 decades.
It's just something in my role I'm not comfortable with signing off on until I know for sure. So like Dave said, that just came up recently.
Okay.
That wasn't discussed a month ago.
We should be able to share that. It's not our engineer, so it's a subcontractor of CDE.
Yeah, we're happy to continue discussions. I personally, as the highest appointed official in the township responsible for public safety here, I'm just not comfortable with it. I'll be honest with you.
I would just ask Attorney Wu, would it be possible, I know we've given you February 4th, I believe is our next commissioner's date. I know that's still 2 weeks out. Would it be possible for you and the township to talk and try to come up with some sort of resolution and information sharing by that date?
Absolutely. And the communication between us and the township has been pretty consistent. So I don't mean to intimate or imply one way or the other. Tom,
I would agree. Yeah, just this issue arose very recently.
Last 48 hours. And we were hoping to get more of a clear communication from Conservation District, and we got the first sentence, and then we got about 6 others that followed the first sentence. The first sentence was what we thought, which was that we did need an NPDES permit. Then they listed all the things that Tom was talking about.
Well, and certainly, while the Conservation District, submitted their comments, I think that the public safety issue and having that documentation was
fine.
more.
And we can provide that.
Pressing.
And I agree with Joe. I mean, if we were doing trucks and other things, this would be a whole different operation. There'd be no way for us to do what we're doing at this point. We'd probably be going through. And that would involve some of the stuff that we're talking about. since we're just talking about hand operated chainsaws, felling and not hauling and logging, I think it's a different thing, but Tom, we understand. We'll get you that information and hopefully get you that comfort level. Thank you.
I appreciate your flexibility and your willingness to work.
This is
issues,
not, right. This is
crossing the T's and dotting the I's.
It's a little different procedure than normal, but it is permitted. We just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Thank you.
Yours or mine?
Thank you both.
Thank you very much for your time this evening, Tom. We'll be in touch, Dave. Thank you.
I would certainly, based on the staff recommendation, based on the information the representatives of the landowner have provided, I would make a motion to table consideration of the redevelopment tree clearing agreement until staff is satisfied with the information they received, with the hope that communication will continue rather shortly between both entities. So I don't know if there's any other board discussion or a second to that motion.
Second.
Two seconds to that motion. Any other board discussion on this item? Any from the public?
Yeah,
Yes.
Joe, how fast can you get stuff to town?
How fast?
Yeah.
If I'm right, and if my recollection's right, not if I'm lying, if my recollection's right, I think we should be able to get it to them tomorrow. I feel, I know at some point there are questions from CDE's engineering team asking us if there was any information about where munitions or those types of things. And they then sent out a very expensive team of people to do some sort of studies, and I found no evidence. So I hope there is a written report, and I hope I can get that to everybody in the township very quickly.
I'll be all right with it when we can look at it. Yes, potentially. We have to go through it. Yes.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, have a good night, everyone.
Any public comment on this matter? Yes, ma'am. If you could please approach the dais, make sure the microphone is on, name and address. They got you for the purposes of the audio recording has to be spoken to the microphone.
Say my name?
Name and address, yes.
Yes. I'm Yvette Coons. I live at 2364 PA Route 309 in Northfield. And I just heard him say that he was talking about the trees, that they're going to leave them on the property. Are they going to cut them to smaller pieces? What are they going to do with the trees? Just leave a big pile? Yeah, that's why I wanted to just kind of say. I mean, if we could just hang out here. Yeah. I'm just curious. I mean, I love the idea about cutting it the old-fashioned way. And what do you do with it? And you know, in Schnecksville, they have those contests where they do the carving of the trees.
I'll be doing that. So yeah, I'll be.
You're going to be out the carving.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should donate something.
We will. The permitting becomes more of an issue if you have to create skid roads and landings, which you do when you remove large lumber. So in order to avoid that permitting process, we're going to fell the trees, leave them there, and then when we have sufficient time, file that second permit, and we'll pull the large trees out of there.
Because I know what trees weigh. I know what logs weigh. I know just the trees.
So people want the large trees. I mean, it's a whole industry, and we will remove them. But that's not quite. Yes, but that will come later, and we fully realize we need permits to do that. We're not doing that now.
Well, that's why we're saying we're thinking it's going to happen now or it's going to happen later, but you still need the trucks to, unless you're cutting them into smaller things and asking people to come in and pick them up with their Ford F-150s and load them in the back and say, I got some firewood. Yeah. You know what I mean? Those trucks.
I agree with you completely.
And how many trees are you cutting?
No, I have no idea.
You do not know?
No.
Because it's a lot of,
there's a lot of scrub. I mean, I don't,
Yeah, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm just saying that's a lot of acreage there.
Any more questions for the applicant here before we wrap up this agenda item? Specific questions from the public? Any other further questions? All right, seeing none.
Thanks. Okay, take care. Thank you, everyone.
There is a motion and a second to table consideration of the pre-development tree clearing agreement. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. 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 Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, gentlemen. Agenda item 10, correspondence and information items. 10A, boards and commissions, informational items, and vacancies. I would ask Township Manager Tom Petrucci to please present once again.
Thank you. So we have upcoming meetings and events with everything posted on the township website. Monday, January 26th, 6 p.m., Landscape and Shade Tree Commission. Monday, January 26th, 7 p.m. also is Environmental Advisory Council. Wednesday, January 28th, 7 p.m. is the Zoning Hearing Board. Monday, February 2nd, 7 p.m. is Public Safety Commission. Wednesday, February 4th, 10 a.m. Civil Service Commission. And Wednesday, February 4th, as mentioned earlier, 7 p.m. here, Board of Commissioners.
Thank you very much, Tom. Moving on to our agenda item 11, courtesy of the floor. This is the second opportunity for the public to comment on non-agenda items. Anybody wishes to address? Seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 12. Oh, did you have another public comment? If you could. No, this is the courtesy of the floor is, as I said, it's the opportunity for the public to comment on any non-agenda items. That would be a non-agenda item. So if you'd please again.
Yeah, and I know he's going to scoot out of here and doesn't want to hear what I'm going to say, especially with this shirt. Okay, fair warning.
Name, address, and then you may begin your 5 minutes.
I'm Yvette Coons. I live at 2364 PA Route 309, Oldfield, PA. And I am opposed to building an AI data center in our neighborhood. Data centers require massive amounts of electricity. Data centers require up to 20 megawatts an hour of electricity, and it is expected to double by 2030. The increased pressure poses the threat of more frequent, long-lasting, and expensive blackouts for the communities surrounding the data center. Upgrades to the power grid will be needed and cost more money. Our electric bills have already skyrocketed to prepay for the added electricity demand. Residents should not have to subsidize energy expansion or reduce energy usage for data center consumption. Data centers require massive quantities of water for cooling systems, straining local water resources. Our home has well water, and we are expected to conserve water and electricity while one data center consumes up to 5 million gallons of water per day, equivalent to the water use of a town populated by up to 50,000 people. The rivers, ponds, and well water will be depleted. Residents won't have drinkable or fully functioning running water in their homes. We rely on running water to drink, cook, clean, and bathe. During a drought, our well may run dry. Data centers consume our fresh water supply that cannot be replenished. Data centers are harmful to your health. Data centers cause air pollution equivalent to more than 10,000 round trips by car between Los Angeles and New York City. They emit harmful pollutants known to cause asthma, lung cancer, heart attacks, cognitive decline, and premature death. Even short-term exposure, lasting from just 30 minutes to 24 hours, can trigger breathing problems, especially for vulnerable people like me. It has been estimated that the pollutant emissions from data centers contribute up to over 1/3 of asthma deaths by 2030. Though I never smoked, I have asthma from living in Lehigh County my entire life where the air quality is already poor. Poor air quality will cause harm and death to people and animals. Data centers cause noise pollution that can bother nearby residents, students, and wildlife. Data centers sound like a lawnmower running all day and all night. Noise emissions depend on the size of generators. Small generators run at about 85 decibels, while larger generators run closer to 100 decibels. HVAC fans in the data centers generate noise levels ranging from 55 to 85 decibels. 85 decibels is considered harmful to hearing. Extended exposure can cause permanent hearing loss. Noise pollution also disrupts animal communications and forces them to seek new migration patterns. Data centers cause light pollution that can bother nearby residents, students, and wildlife. Data centers produce bright lights comparable to LED lights on a truck. LED lights create excessive light smog or sky glare that has detrimental impacts on wildlife, human health, and ecosystem functions and services. Artificial light at night has been linked to headaches, fatigue, stress, anxiety, mental disorders, obesity, diabetes, and other health issues. We already have enough health problems. We don't need to add to them. Data centers produce electronic waste that contains hazardous substances like mercury and lead, and only 22% was documented as formally collected and recycled. The forever chemicals sit in landfills and contaminate the soil and streams. We already have tons of pollution we don't want. Data centers permanently destroy farmland. The plan calls for 6 data center buildings totaling 5.1 million square feet of land. That's 410 acres at 2493 North Cedar Crest Boulevard near Parkland High School. That land is currently undeveloped farmland. If used for a data center, it can never be used as farmland again. We voted in November 2025 for the open space referendum, and it passed with 73.88% support from the township voters. This land should be preserved, not permanently contaminated. Data centers bring additional traffic near the school that already has a lot of traffic. A traffic impact study submitted shows the data center campus would generate an average of 3,865 weekday trips. These average weekday trips include 371 new trips during the morning peak and 265 new trips during evening peak times, the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission said. I see the traffic backed up when the school buses are running and people are going to or from work. Increasing traffic at a school zone is a safety concern for students in the community. Since the township cannot reject a proposal just because it's unpopular, I felt compelled to explain the hazards of allowing the proposal to be accepted. I've done a lot of research and I'm involved with environmental groups such as the Sierra Club, Food and Water Watch, Climate Action Pennsylvania, Earth Justice, Climate Justice Alliance, Environmental Action, Moms Clean Air Force, Penn Future, Conservation Voters of Pennsylvania, and Penn Environment, to name a few. They are just as concerned as my family, friends, and community are about the proposed AI data center. I truly believe the risks outweigh any benefits. Please reject the proposal on behalf of the residents of South Whitehall Township. Thank you.
Thank you.
And hi to Barbara Hughes.
Thank you, Ms. Kunz, for your comments, and certainly the board appreciates any public comment or feedback. I would like to actually, since you brought up that item, I would like to ask our township manager if you could please review the land development process. I know this submission, this plan submission has been in the news. It was reviewed by the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission. So for the sake of transparency, if our township manager could just review what this review will look like from the township's perspective, I think that would be a great benefit to members of the public.
Absolutely, yeah. So you mentioned the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission. So that is a separate out external agency. So they conduct their own reviews. And just something I want to point out on that, they only have a prescribed time frame to review a plan. And once they receive it, they have to review it within that period of time, and they lose a chance to ever comment on it again, right? So under the municipality's planning code, the township also has to review and act on a plan within a certain period of time. However, typically you'll see applicants grant time extensions to the township to review projects. So in this case, the township has a preliminary plan before it. And at this point, all of the consultants of the township, all the staff of the township are undertaking thorough reviews of said plan, right? So at this point, the applicant could proceed with the February Planning Commission. However, it's also possible that that item would be removed from the agenda and would be placed on the April Planning Commission agenda, with the understanding that all of those reviews, which would include the township engineer, the township geological specialist, the geologist, the zoning officer, the public works director, the water and sewer engineer, all of the standard and customary consultants and staff members that review these projects, including lighting. You mentioned lighting this evening, so that would be something we look at. All of that gets reviewed as to whether it conforms with our township ordinances. So the township's required to undertake those reviews when a plan is submitted. At this point, like I said, it could be a planning commission item in February. It's more likely at this point that it may be tabled to April, when the comments would be received by the applicant from all of the staff members and the consultants. That of course, like I said, though, is it's an applicant driven time process, and that's in accordance with the municipality's planning code by the Commonwealth. So that's not even really set by the township. So we as township staff, township officials have to ensure that we're meeting those requirements, that we're following those processes. So at this point, they would have to comply with the zoning ordinance. They would have to comply with the subdivision land development ordinance, the Township Act 167 stormwater ordinance, all of the things that all of the land development projects that come before us have to comply with. So to sum it up, this could take months. We will review each and every item very thoroughly, and conduct our due diligence to make sure that it complies.
Thank you, Tom. I would add 2 points for the public's benefit as well. Personally, I've seen and I can attest to quality of our staff that they will give this project, as they do for every project. It's no different. The most thorough review possible. Leave no stone unturned and leave no question from the public unanswered. So that sort of leads me to my second point. If obviously a project of significance, of regional significance, as the LVPC has identified it, if members of the public have comments or questions or concerns, they're more than welcome to take advantage of courtesy of the floor, as you did, ma'am, but also reach out to the township with specific questions. Oftentimes, that's a great way to get specific concerns answered. There's a lot of information that the township can discuss in terms of policies and procedures and the way things are handled. I would also encourage the public to be very mindful of certainly reaching out to the board. Our email addresses are on the website. Any information or reviews you wish to pass along, and certainly we will make a note at our meetings and on the township website to keep the public informed with respect to upcoming meetings. Obviously, this plan will be reviewed, as Tom mentioned, by the Planning Commission, the Public Safety Commission, a variety of our boards and commissions before it even gets to this board. So we will certainly, make note, as we do for all projects and all public meetings, to make sure that those are advertised to the community to help engage the public and get their input. So thank you, Tom, for giving us an overview. As always, the township is as open and transparent as we can be, and we always invite the public to share their views, their opinions, and their information. I'll say staff, particularly our community development staff, is always taking furious notes whenever members of the public add comment, thinking of things that they might want to take, into their own reviews. So it is certainly valued and always welcome. Are there any other members of the public that wish to address the board on non-agenda items? Dave, is there anyone online? Okay. Give you a moment to figure that out. That's fine. If there's no response, we will certainly move. We can certainly move on. Or to Dave, is there?
Hilda, if you can unmute your microphone and go ahead and speak, give your name and address, and we can hear your comment. So we've been having bad sound tonight, so she might not actually be able to hear me. I sent an unmute request. We'll see if that comes through.
Dave, and I would note, if we don't resolve this issue in a few seconds, we'll move on to the agenda, but I would note to members who may be able to hopefully hear virtually or in person that the board meets twice a month. And there are 2 opportunities at each meeting to provide public comment on non-agenda items. So that option is always available at future meetings. I would say we'll just move on at this point. I apologize for any technological issues that may arise from time to time. Seeing no other members of the public that wish to address the board on non-agenda items, moving on to agenda item 12, I would seek a motion to authorize the payment of invoices and disbursements. Is there a motion? Motion from Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second? Second from Commissioner Fellinger-Ricker. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. There is no executive session scheduled tonight, and with that, I would seek a motion to adjourn. Motion from Commissioner Granovsky, second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? This motion carries 5-0. This meeting is adjourned. Have a good night, everyone.